Hello, my fellow Christian fiction book lovers. Welcome to another video. That was aggressive. Today I am going to be doing a series review. You know, I should probably stop saying that I'm not a series person because 50% of my videos would disagree with that statement in the fact that I have reviewed multiple series on this channel, and I guess I didn't have good experience with series earlier on in my reading life, but now I kind of like them. I can kind of get behind them. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Amish Secrets stories. These books, so on the spine of each one, it's called an Amish Secrets novel, but like these function like a series. You can pick them up like one after the other, and you kind of need the others for them to make sense. And on Goodreads, they are labeled as a series, so we're just gonna ignore the spines and go with the fact that they are a series. So, fun fact, Her Brother's Keeper, the first book in this series, was the first Amish fiction I have ever read, and I quite enjoyed it. I knew nothing about anything Amish before reading these books. Like, I can fully acknowledge that I am still very uneducated on Amish ways, but I have learned a lot through these books, and I think that's great. I'm very glad I got the opportunity. But basically the main premise of this series is Charlotte Delinsky moves to the Amish community and stays with her brother's former fiance's family after her brother has committed suicide. And she goes to that community and pretends to be Amish to try and find out if her brother's former fiance potentially caused Ethan to kill himself. And that's basically the whole first book, and I can't really talk about the other two books without spoiling the outcome, but basically I would say the whole series is just a wonderful progression of Charlotte going from just this very fragile woman who has like the most extreme trust issues that I've ever read, to kind of this woman who realizes that she doesn't have to, like, she can be broken and it's okay, and she doesn't have to have all of the answers as long as she's dependent on God. And just the progression in the book was so heartwarming and so sweet, and I would classify these books as rather lighthearted compared to some of the other things I read, but they definitely still had depth to them. And I think that was one thing that put me off of Amish fiction, or the idea of it, is that I wasn't sure it was going to have any depth. It was just going to be about these characters who lived a Christian lifestyle, but a very different Christian lifestyle. Honestly, I learned a lot of lessons through these books. Just some of the more like matronly Amish characters in these books, like having discussions with the younger generation, taught me lessons that I needed. Like, I already knew, but like I needed to hear it in the way that these women explained it to the younger generation. It was so sweet. So one thing that I absolutely adored about the final book, and just like, I was so shocked that the author like went there, is discussing the topic of medical life support and its ethics and morality within a Christian's life. I'm not like, obviously I'm not going to get into personal opinions about it because I don't want to be controversial, but it's something that I had never thought about. I feel like when people think about medical ethics when it comes to Christianity, we always straight away jump to abortion, which isn't talked about in these books at all, and I'm glad, because medical ethics within Christianity goes so much further than just pro-life or pro-choice. And the final book really brought that out. In two of the characters ended up in the hospital, and one of them fell into a coma and was hooked up to life support by the hospital without choice. The other character was going in for treatment, and she said that if something happened, she did not want machines to keep her alive. And then there was some discussion between two of the main characters about, well, is it okay or is it not okay And just the conclusion that it came to really made me think, and I loved it. I loved how fiction brought in this discussion of medical ethics for a Christian, you know, obviously dealing with the Amish in this particular scenario, but also just Christians in general. And, you know, it is something that I have never thought about, but I really should. Then I would also say these books are contemporary fiction, which isn't normally my thing. I love historical fiction because I love learning about history and a time period or this little niche in history that no one knows about, but then this fiction brings it to light. And that's typically why I don't like contemporary fiction, because like I live in the modern world and I'm much better acquainted with it. So I feel like I have less to learn, but these books showed me, this series in particular showed me that that is not the case. And they taught me really good things. And so I don't know, it's just kind of made me sit back and think that maybe I should approach contemporary fiction a bit differently, because obviously I can never know it all. And if I allowed contemporary fiction to teach me things that I let historical fiction teach me, maybe I wouldn't have as many pre-assumptions about it, if that makes sense. This video got very into my brain for some reason, and that was not the direction I was expecting to go, but here we are, and those are my thoughts on the Amish Secrets series. If you've read other books by Beth Wiseman, let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's another series by her that I would like, or any other Amish fiction, because I think I kind of like it. The culture is really interesting to read about. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you Tuesday for whatever video that is. Until then.